judges ready? And the timer? And the affirmative? Alright, let's begin. And the final speech for the negative team is basically going to be summing up her position in two specific stock issues and really showing you why it is important and vitally important for the United States to not pass the affirmative plan, but instead vote for the negative team. Now, I first want to start off with her opening of her speech where she talked about how the negative team has no disadvantages. My one response here you can tag as also no benefits. Also no benefits. Now, it is true that the affirmative team did not bring up any disadvantages against the affirmative team's plan, but it is also equally important to note that we brought up several solvency points showing and responding to the advantages that there is no benefit from the affirmative team's plan. And I'll be going over that as I go through my speech under my voting issues. But finally, let's go down to the criterion. She said that policies are focused. My one response here, you can tag as economy is stifled. Again, the economy is stifled. With an affirmative vote, you're not changing the economy. We brought up several pieces of evidence talking about how U.S. production increases the price of gas for the consumer. The economy is not going to be impacted with an affirmative vote, and that is why you should vote negative. But now let's go into my two voting issues. My first voting issue, you can simply tag this as the stock issues. Now, in the debate round, walking into this round, the affirmative team has the burden of proof to prove that they uphold all four of the stock issues, and unfortunately they have not. Let's go over the stock issue of solvency. Now, I brought up 4 solvency points and she responded to them. Let's go over my responses. Now, solvency point 1, she talked about correlation and not causation. I have one response and an impact to this. My one response you can tag as unpredictable. Again, unpredictable. In her speech, she said that oil and gas increasing and the prices that they have is an unpredictable market because it changes all the time. If that is true, then the affirmative team's plan should not be passed because the advantages might not come about, and we can see that their plan is unpredictable. My impact here, you can tag this as unreliable. If the plan is unpredictable, there is no reason to pass it, and therefore it is unreliable. Let's move down to the second solvency point. This was talking about the jobs. And she basically talked about 30-year horizon and how her jobs were only talking about 30 years and then 3 phases. My first response you can tag as 85%. No benefits. Again, 85%, no benefits. There has been no specific evidence read in this round from the affirmative team saying that there is direct advantages from only the 85% of the OCS that is not open. That is critical in today's debate round because we have provided evidence showing that only the 15% is providing the advantages. Therefore, the entire case of the plan is inherent and 20% is not significant. My second response, you can tag this as delayed benefit. Again, delayed benefit. And this is response to her response saying that there were 3 phases. Again, the affirmative team is admitting that this is a long process, and again, their plans and, their advantages will be a delayed benefit, and we won't even see them for a couple years. Let's move down to the third solvency point. This was tagged as least areas, and it was talking about the 80% inside of the 15% of the OCS. She basically said that they disagree with these numbers. My one response here you can tag as no evidence. Again, no evidence. There was evidence brought up by the negative team talking about how there is only benefits inside of the 15% of the OCS, and she brought up no counter evidence to say why or have any analysis of why they're disagreeing to this point. Her second response, she said caused by 20%. My response here, you can tag this as insubstantial. Insubstantial. 80% is obviously more substantial than 20%, and we're already seeing economic growth with this 80%. My third response you can tag again as no guarantee. Again, no guarantee, and this is specifically in the impact that I had of lower gas prices. This evidence of CBS says that if more domestic oil drilling worked as politicians say, you'd now be paying about $2 a gallon for gasoline. We can see that this isn't true, and that's because the oil market is unpredictable, and therefore the affirmative team's plan is unreliable. Let's finally go down to the fourth solvency point. Solvency point 4, I was talking about including all areas. She was basically saying that she was only talking about the context and that it was near the number. My first response, again, you can tag this as no analysis of evidence. Again, no analysis of evidence. I brought up the evidence and read it to you talking about how it was $14 trillion is going to be gained from lands and waters in conjunction. So we can see if we take out the lands, then that number is going to decrease because they're only dealing with 85% of the OCS, which they still haven't provided any benefits for. Now finally, let's go down to the inherency. Under inherency, she basically said that of sustainable growth. And this was directly in response to my partner bringing up the evidence about 86 billion barrels. My response here, you can tag as no benefit. We have proven in today's debate around that 86 billion barrels of oil is inside of the 50% open and 85% there is no benefits. Please vote for the negative team. Thank you.